Alright, so you guys voted once again, and you voted on the mirror shield. No surprise there, that's what I kind of guessed it was going to be, and that's what I was hoping it's going to be, because my next Zelda parody is going to involve the mirror shield. So, this, so far it's a pretty cheap build. I'm going to wing it again, and so far it looks pretty easy, so here's how to do it. Okay, so first we're going to start with the cardboard. We're going to get the basic size of the shield, and then we're going to cut these out and put them all over it. So from what I can calculate from the shield I already made for my Zelda parodies way back in like grade 9 to this is that's about 2 feet long. So I'm going to draw a 2 foot long line going right down the middle, and then 8 inches up I'm going to put a line, and then 10 inches from that I'm going to put 2 more lines. So it'll come up like this, and then 2 inches down from the top, and then 10 inches out again. So lines come down. You're probably not going to be able to see it because of the pencil. So there's a picture right there. I'm going to leave that picture there as I do this really quick, what's the thing called? Super time lapse, I guess. Okay, and there we go. I don't really know about the size of this thing. It kind of looks too small to me, but I'm not really concerned about it. So if you guys are making this, I'd say maybe add another 4 inches to the length, and that would probably make it look a lot better. But right now, again, as usual, I'm rushing through this. So cut this thing out. Okay, so I finished cutting out the shape, and I realized that it was too long on the sides, it was too fat, so I took it in about 1 inch, so instead of 10 inches on either side, now it's 9 inches on either side, and it looks a lot better. So now you're going to draw lines 1.5 inches in to make a border, because on the shield there's a red border and the rest of it's reflective. So just really quickly draw the border on it. There we go. You can't really see the border, but it's there. So now I'm going to take this stuff and start cutting off all this extra trim. Okay, so I cut all my pans up. This is the only thing I could find. I found it at the dollar store and it was shiny, so I grabbed it. You could probably get a film, which would work a lot better, because then you just cut it right into the shape. So now I'm just kind of putting these on here to see how I can cut them. I really wish I could just glue, only have 4 pieces, but with all these little holes here, it looks like I'm going to have to do more. So I'm not going to film this part because I'm going to experiment through this entire thing. So I'll just show you the finished product. Okay, so I finally finished putting this thing, the mirror plates on. Sorry I didn't film it, but there was a lot of work and a lot of moving around. It's kind of puzzled together there, but in the end it worked out pretty good. What I should have done, and what you guys should do, make sure you make note of this, is paint this red first, because now I have to paint and avoid the mirror. So what I'm going to do is put tape over the mirror and then just paint it right over. So my suggestion is to paint red first and then put down the mirror. But anyways, to put the mirror down, I used epoxy, and really I think white glue would have worked too. But the thing about epoxy is that
I put that on everything.
And to me, it's the best thing ever because it fixes everything. Oh no, my plane is broken. Epoxy! My leg is broken! Epoxy! My legs are fixed!
He broke my heart.
Epoxy!
I don't think this will fix it.
Epoxy fixes everything. go. That's obviously going to need a second coat, so I'm just going to let that dry for a bit and then come back to it. So almost done. I just traced out the basic shape with pencil, and now I'm going to do it with metallic Sharpie. So you can't really see it on camera a little bit, but there's the basic shape. I'm going to put a picture up on the website, which is in the description of the design I used. So, draw it out in pencil first. When you erase the pencil on this film, it kind of makes a big mess, so I think I'll have to wash it after. But anyways, pencil and then Sharpie. And there we go. Now you can kind of see the outline of it, not too well, but that's the whole point. On the mirror, the actual mirror, you couldn't see it too well. I'm probably going to shade some of this in later, but for now I'm just going to let what I have right now dry, because if I were to smudge it with my finger, it's gone. So give that a little bit to dry. So it took about 2 to 3 hours to dry, and I had to put this underneath the heater. So that was the longest part about this build so far, actually. It's just waiting for marker to dry. So anyways, this is what it looks like. I hope the camera's picking that up. You could barely see those, but on the mirror, that's kind of the same thing. So anyways, time for the handle and the forearm grab there. Now, I do this with duct tape. There's many other ways to do this, but my preferred method. So I'm going to put the shield on my left arm. So I'm going to have a bigger one up here and a handle right here. So take this thing, fold it in half so it's not sticky on either side. And then just put your arm where it's going to be, and just kind of measure it out. There we go. So obviously that's not going to be able to hold it on, so you need to tape this down like crazy. Make sure you do this one underneath, because I always found that when I make these shields, that's the most important one. There we go. There's your first armband. So basically, you're going to do the exact same thing for the hand. Make sure that it fits in the palm of your hand, that you can grab it. I'm not going to film it for the interest of time, so just repeat pretty much this thing, but make it a bit smaller. So this is the final mirror shield. It's all shiny and whatnot, like a mirror should be. So anyways, as you can tell, I used the mirror shield version from the N64, not the 3DS version. I prefer the original, you know, it looks a lot cooler, I guess. This was actually my simplest build yet, a total of like maybe 3 hours to do. It's kind of cheap looking at the same time though, so I guess how long you spend is what you get. Anyways, add us on Facebook, because if you added us, you would have known I was making the shield and saw a picture of the finished product before I put it up. And, oh cool, you can see the reflection of the moon, just like in the game. Anyways, add us on Facebook. Check out our website, orangespy.tk, and if you have any trouble with this or any of my other builds, email me at orange-spy@hotmail.com. And that's all, so vote on what you guys want next.